Okay, back on. And only those of you who follow me and I followed you back will be able to make comments. So that makes it a lot nicer. Sorry about the interruption, but there's certain times during the day that we get a lot more of that junk, and my husband's not sitting in the other room monitoring and blocking people, so we'll go ahead and go from here. So people were moving a lot more. I didn't feel like I was in New York, like everything was crowded, but everybody was around, moving around. You know, the traffic in the streets in Paris, streets are very thin, very narrow, sometimes just one lane, sometimes two, sometimes four, but it's difficult, so there's not a lot of people driving. And I noticed there's less people who seem to be overweight. And people don't seem so much in a hurry in Paris, and I kind of like that. I thought that was good. Another thing I feel like I need to do is I need to get outside more often. And we did that a lot in Paris. We were hardly ever at our flat. We were out and about, seeing things, doing things, enjoying each other's company. And I think sometimes when we're at home, we're just so focused. We're in our offices, we're at our desks, we're working, and sometimes that gets to be too much. So that's something else I want to kind of bring back from Paris. Another thing is making my husband more of a priority. That was easy to do in Paris. We didn't have a big schedule. We weren't trying to get things done, so I could do what he wanted to do. Thanks for those hearts. If you like what I'm talking about, go ahead and tap on the screen. And if you want to share it with friends, you can swipe to the right. So even last night, I had things I needed to do. My list is unending, and my husband said, let's go for a scooter ride. And so I just went, and we wound up going quite a ways. We stopped at a Trader Joe's, we picked up some bread, and came home. And I think that in itself was a good example of what we were doing while we were in Paris. Just being a little bit more spur of the moment and really honoring him in doing what he wanted, even though there were things that I had to do. We never watched TV in Paris, which you can imagine because we were gone all the time. We couldn't hardly keep up with uploading our photos. And it's not that we watch that much TV here, but it does make me think about when we do sit down to watch a show in the evening. Wow, could we just be sitting together? Could we read a book? Could we listen to some music? Could we just be talking instead of watching TV? Just kind of interesting. It's just really important to me that I come away from that trip and that I learn some things and that I decide, okay, are there some types of changes that I want to make? So. Taking time for our meals. I am notorious for being a quick eater. It's more just a functional thing. In Paris, you don't do that. In fact, if you go to a restaurant, you sit down at a table, they are expecting you to be at that table all evening long. In fact, they don't even bring your ticket to you. It's considered rude. You have to ask for it, which means I'm done and I'm ready to go. So we just took more time eating and just enjoying and savoring the food and enjoying conversation. So that was another thing that just kind of, okay, I need to work on that when I'm at home. I can't always be in a rush and be busy. Just their simple ways of life. As we walked through the centuries-old chateaus in the Loire Valley, oh, they were so beautiful. And you just see the things that they had, the furniture, the things they used in the chateaus. Everything was so simple. And it makes me want to come home and simplify my life a little bit. It even makes me want to clear things out even more than we have. It's just kind of interesting, but when you get away like that, sometimes you're like 50,000 feet up and you can just kind of see your life from a different viewpoint. So it was very, very interesting. And I did just enjoy us being able to go to a place and just sit next to each other. How many of you do that with your husbands? You actually go to a park and sit down with your husband, enjoy the beauty, and visit. If you do that, let me know. If you do it regularly, you are fantastic. Sometimes I just think I'm just too busy to stop and rest and relax. We absolutely loved sitting in the Jardin du Luxembourg. It was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And many days or evenings, we would walk over to the Champ de Mars, which is the field in front of the Eiffel Tower. So you've got this gorgeous view of this tower. beautiful green space, and people just kind of milling around doing their thing, and it was just enjoyable. It was just nice to take time for each other too. Very wonderful. I love seeing people walking back from the bakery with their daily baguettes. It reminded me, when I'm in Paris, I have no trouble eating breads because basically they have all these beautiful bakeries and you're buying things fresh every day. You don't have preservatives. So we got baguettes several days. We got the traditional baguette. My favorite was the last day at Nellie Julienne's, which we went to several days, getting a traditional baguette with chocolate. And that was just, delicious, delicious. But it's just really nice to think about not buying lots of extra and saving it up. We do live in an area where I can walk to the grocery store, and I love it because I often just hop on my scooter and get something and I'm back within 10 minutes. Well, I can do that. You know, I'm kind of like in Paris here. I live close enough to where I can just run over, get what I need for the day, carry it in my little green sack, meaning it's, you know, I'm not wasting by using plastic bags or paper bags. So very interesting. I can do more of that here. I can just get things for a day or two. I love that weekly shopping, and if you're a busy mom with lots of kids, that's probably what you need to do. But at my stage of life, I should be doing more of this, so look forward to it. Let's see. Oh, more learning to go with the flow. Sometimes if we take a wrong turn or things take longer than we expected to, we get frustrated here in the States. But you know, over there, it was just a lot easier on vacation. You wind up at the wrong terminal for your flight, and it takes you 40 minutes to get to the terminal that you actually belong in by train and walking and elevator and everything. But you know what? We had time, we were there early, and it's a matter of just laughing it off and going on. There were times that we would be on the correct bus number and going the wrong direction, going away from the place we wanted to get to instead of toward it. And it just reminded me how easy it was for me to just slough that off and think, hey, no big deal. And we've got to do that in our everyday lives too. When your kids are actually throwing you off course, when they're doing things that you don't expect, when they're making a big mess that you have to clean up, it's not going to help you any to get upset about it. So just learn to go with the flow, see it as an opportunity to bless your family and to show them that you can actually be calm when things don't go exactly right. And just think about the fact that maybe this is keeping you from doing something which would be a problem later. So I always like to think that way. If I happen on a wreck just a few minutes after it happened, and think, okay, the Lord kept me from being there and being in that situation by a very short delay that I had. So I don't know if any of you read our blog from Monday. It was about holding hands, and we did have a videographer following us on all of our tours that we did, which was really kind of fun. I mean, since I'm used to being in front of the camera, it was not hard to do. It was just funny because he was just there at times that we didn't even realize it. But at one point when we were biking, we reached out and held hands and biked that way for a while. And I guess the videographer actually got that on film. So it was kind of fun. He sent us that picture after my husband wrote the blog on holding hands. And it's just another encouragement. Okay, take time to enjoy each other. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Take time to enjoy each other. Take time to hold hands. I think it's hard once you have kids and you're busy. Everything becomes so functional. And really, it's stuff that we need to be doing. Thank you. Appreciate that. So especially at our stage of life, we need to be holding hands. And I think it's easier to do when you're first married and when you're dating. And when you have kids, you've got hands-on kids, and so it's hard to do that. But take time to date, and when you date, make sure that you're still acting like newlyweds, because people are watching. Oh my goodness, we were in the store. Well, my husband wrote about the tour. You'll have to read the blog from Monday on KirbyAnderson.com, because one of our tour people had asked us about holding hands. But even last night, we were in Trader Joe's, and we're walking down the aisle. We're just looking at stuff and we're holding hands, and this lady just stops and looks at us and says, "Oh my gosh, I hope I'm like that when I've been married for a while." I mean, it was just kind of a crazy comment. It was kind of strange, but it was still a compliment. I know she meant it as a compliment, so it was just nice. So anyway, I will be on later this week scoping myself. Also plan on scoping with my husband about taking trips with your mate. I hope you all are enjoying our blog at KirbyAnderson.com. We're still blogging 3 times a week. There's some interesting stuff in there under lots of different topics. Also, if you're wanting to watch some of the past scopes that I've done, they're all on YouTube, and the link to that is in my profile. If you want to contact me about anything, my email's in the profile as well. So hope you're all having an awesome day. Have fun with your kids, and take a few moments sometime today to either enjoy nature, be loving to your husband, or just do something for yourself. Bye, everybody. We'll see you soon.